Hi everyone, my name is Jeff Gott, and I want to welcome you all back to the MS Workouts YouTube channel. If you're one of the millions of individuals who live with high cholesterol, high blood pressure, or poor cardiovascular health, but don't have the mobility to run, walk, or jog, then this video is for you. I want you to follow along with me as I demonstrate a few chair compound exercises that strengthen several muscle groups at one time. And by the end of the video, your heart rate is going to be cranking as you deliver tremendous benefit to your cardiovascular health. Notice that all of the exercises in this week's video are performed from a chair so everyone can participate to achieve better cardiovascular fitness. The only equipment that you're going to need is a chair, your progress journal, and your very best effort. That progress journal, you can download it in the description box below. If you want to add some resistance to this workout, then by all means, please feel free to do so. The more you challenge the body, the better prompt you're going to get. And don't forget, subscribe to our channel and give us a like on the video after it's finished if you enjoy it. And please also leave a comment below letting us know where you're watching from and what symptoms you're struggling with so we can cater our future videos to you. All right, let's go ahead and get that heart rate pumping. What's up, y'all? Let's go ahead and execute this cardiovascular cranking exercise session. Now, it's important to preface this. Cardio, okay, literally is dictated by how well you're engaging the muscle. So we're gonna hit some big compound movements here today, cut the rest times down between the sessions to really ensure that you're getting the cardiovascular response that you need to prompt the best results. So let's go ahead and get rocking. Notice I have my PDF progress journal ready to go. If you don't have a progress journal, pause the video right now and download it in the description box below. It's super important to be measured when you're exercising. All right, let's do this. Gonna start with an armchair push-up, and I know that I need a silver band to make sure that it is technically exercising, not just movement. We are targeting tricep, anterior delt, pectoralis major minor, a little bit of the torso, and really and truly what we're trying to do here is actively engage the entire exercise to get as much metabolic demand on the body as possible, which then forces the cardiovascular system to kick into play and to rock and roll. You ready to do this? If you don't have a resistance band, that's perfectly fine, okay? If you're new to the channel, just jump in, emulate my exercise movement here, and once you complete the entirety of the exercise, then you're gonna notate that and increase the difficulty next time. Let's rock. Clock is on. Now, heel of the hands is where the pressure is into the chair. Shoulders are dropped, and you're actively trying to squeeze this seat, okay, where your hands are. When you try to squeeze it together and you're trying to bring it in towards your hips, that allows you to actively engage the tissue at a greater level. And that's what we're trying to do here in order to get the cardiovascular system rolling. Now, we are looking for muscle failure ideally. High intensity is what's going to give you the clearest communication to the body. So what success really is getting to the point where you cannot continue, okay? All of the steady pace exercises, we're looking for continuous and uninterrupted loading of the tissue that we're targeting. Here again, arms, shoulders, chest, a little bit of abdominals, okay? So what that means is when I can't continue to stay engaged, I have to relax the muscles. When my form starts to deteriorate, I'm gonna notate the time on the clock above me, and I'm going to jump right back in after a brief relaxing, right? And just continue to give my best effort. At the end of the exercise, write down the results. Okay, we're going past that 60-second mark, shake is natural, into what we call the exhaust range, which is the final 30 seconds of the exercise. Getting that cardiovascular system rolling here, heart's gonna start pumping because what's basically happening, we have byproducts being produced from the effort from the muscle, particularly carbon dioxide being one, and the heart has to speed up its pumping, right, or its beat to get oxygen in back to the tissue and the carbon dioxide out, right? Metabolic demand, AKA exercise. 5 more seconds, still engaged here, shaking, getting close, breathing freely. 1 second and done, completed. So I'm gonna move briskly here, okay? Move briskly. We're gonna write down, heart rate's already starting to roll. I'm gonna write 130, I'm gonna write plus, silver band, I need to increase the difficulty next time. We're gonna jump right into a body weight squat, keeping the rest times down, allows us to keep that cardiovascular system rolling. All right, let's do this. We're gonna go to isometric or a metabolic technique squat. So clock is on, breathing freely. Now, I'm going to show you here, okay? I'm at as close to 90 degrees as I can get with the angle of my knee. Hips are back, back is flat. I'm actively engaging here. I'm thinking about pushing through my heels. I'm squeezing my thighs and my rear end. You don't want to coast here, okay? Remember, exercise, and particularly the cardiorespiratory response that you get from your exercise, has everything to do with at what level you're actively engaging the muscle. So flex the thighs, the glutes, the targeted muscle, keeping that back flat and breathing freely. Notice my heart rate's starting to pick up already. It's harder for me to continue to talk to you during this exercise, but I'm gonna do so, right? Because that's what we're here for. Now, we were just hitting upper body, now we're hitting lower body. That's gonna really facilitate the pumping of blood up to the upper body, then to the lower body. So forcing the cardiovascular system, particularly the vascular system, right, to shuttle that blood up and then shuttle that blood down. Now we're getting ready to go into the exhaust range. The goal of all of these exercise sets is to challenge the body. Momentary muscle failure, the point where you can't continue with continuous and uninterrupted loading, right? My thighs are burning right now. That's literally stores of glucose or sugar being utilized to produce the energy, which really prompts insulin sensitivity, metabolic health, all kinds of wonderful things. Woo, we're at the 118 mark, actively engaging, still rolling here. Shake is natural. No more than about 5 seconds. Shake is natural, getting close. 2 more seconds, 1 more second, and done. Whew, deep burn. All right, gonna keep the rest times down here. Gonna promptly, right, head on over. I did complete it, 130 with my body weight plus, because I need to increase the difficulty next time to ensure I'm getting the very most out of the exercise. Let's keep it rolling. We're gonna go to a push plank, okay? So we are going to use the chair here. There's a few different ways that you can modify this, okay? You can either go from knees if you're a beginner or you haven't executed this before. Utilizing the chair, walk the knees back, hips are slightly forward, okay? You could also go down to the ground, okay? You could utilize this from knees. You could go into a push-up position with a slight bend. You could also use the chair and come up into a push-up position in this nature, okay? If you have issues with your knees, put a pillow underneath, whatever you need to in order to make it as comfortable as possible for you. All right, let's go ahead and execute this push plank. So we were at lower body, now we're going back to the upper body. Clock is on. Slight bend in the elbows. And again, just like that armchair push-up, we're thinking about actively engaging. So I'm trying to mash this seat together as if I'm trying to squeeze it and take my hands to my chest, my sternum, adducting the hands. Because it's one thing to metabolically engage or isometrically engage. It's another thing to actively engage during. So this isn't a walk in the park, it's a sprint. Okay, so you're giving your best effort the entire time. We're targeting back of the arms, shoulders, chest, heart rate rolling. And it's superior cardiovascular exercise. We need low intensity aerobics because we're forcing the muscle tissue to create the prompt of the cardiovascular system, right? We're not just holding our breath and seeing our heart rate increase. There's metabolic demand being placed upon the muscle tissue, which then leads to adaptations at the tissue level, which is where you can see the greatest proficiency increases of the cardiovascular system is at the tissue level. Excuse me. Woo! Rocking and rolling. We're in the final 30 seconds no matter what. And again, the goal is momentary muscle failure. Why? Because we want to ensure that we have stimulated the body at the greatest level, clearest level possible. Do you have to go to muscle failure to see results? No, but you got to go pretty darn close. So why not make it very cut and dry and do so? No more than 4 seconds, 2 seconds, and slowly disengaging. All right, gonna keep the rest times down, gonna keep it rolling. We're almost there. You are doing a great job, right? Remind yourself that if you are putting forth effort, giving your best effort, challenging yourself, then you are doing it. Push plank, right? I went chair, body weight on feet. I made it to the 130 mark. I need to increase the difficulty next time. Increase the difficulty next time. My heart rate's rolling. Why? Because I want to continue to progressively challenge the body. It's one of the fundamental principles of exercise that has to be applied. Progressively overloading the system, okay? Let's jump into the last exercise of this system to keep our heart rate rolling, which is a leg extension, bilateral, both legs. All right, so if you have a lower functioning of your lower body, feel free to place a trunk or an ottoman or something underneath your legs here and just give your best effort to actively engage your quads and lift the legs. I'm gonna go into a bilateral, okay, leg extension. So I'm just gonna extend feet into the air. Clock is on. So we were just going upper body. We're gonna circle back around, get one more set on our lower body. So then we got 2 sets today, upper body wise, 2 sets lower body wise. Now again, on this exercise, focusing on not just staying in this position, but squeeze those thighs. Try to lock your knees out, okay? You should be on the verge of cramping any of these quadriceps because the contractile ability is so great in those thighs right now. You're not gonna injure your knees by locking them out in this position because there's no vertical plane loading through your ankle, knee, hip. You're not gonna have any issues with it. Squeeze those quads. Now, one thing I will mention is try to make sure that you're in a chair that's supporting the entirety of your thigh or femur here. This chair is not necessarily doing that for me, so I'm gonna feel it a little bit into my hip flexor or upper quads, which is fine. But at the end of the day, I wanna understand that if I'm trying to isolate these quadriceps, or if you are dealing with weakness in your hip flexor, which will cut into the ability to truly engage these quadriceps, one thing you can do is scoot yourself back, support the thigh completely, and let that quadricep do all of the exercise and work. Whoo, and you notice, this is a single joint mover, right, versus compound that we were hitting earlier, but it's still got your heart rate rolling because we've got enough of an inroad at this point in the exercise session that it doesn't take much to keep that heart rate going. It's like pumping things back up, right, a little bit at a time. Actively engaging, squeezing, shake is natural. We've got about 5 more seconds, just giving your very best effort. If you reached muscle failure already, great for you, and disengage. Notice there was a great shake. There was a great shake in my legs, but I didn't reach momentary muscle failure, okay? Which means I can increase the difficulty next time, right? Whew, so big breath in. Let the air sit in your lungs for a second or so, and then breathe out. By holding that air in, when you take that big deep breath, it allows the air that you brought into your lungs time to exchange the oxygen and get the carbon dioxide out of your blood, out of the alveoli. Saturate that blood a little bit more, and your heart rate will come back down a lot quicker from the exercise. So I'm gonna make the notations 130 plus so I can increase the difficulty next time. Again, we talk about it all the time, but it's worth mentioning over and over and over. Use a progress journal, write down your outcomes, because now I know what I need to apply to my body next time on each individual exercise to ensure that I'm creating that progressive overload and that challenge, because exercise is different than movement, right? Exercise is to prompt real changes in adaptation and abilities in your systems, right? Movement is good for general health, for recovery, and I'm not gonna dive off into that cliff because y'all know that I can and I will, but I'll do it at some other time. It's a different pillar of that steady pace lifestyle. Make sure that you've hit the notifications button. Make sure that you hit a like if you enjoyed this. Leave a comment below. Let us know where you're from. Let us know what you're focusing on so that we can help tailor these exercises to allow you to get the greatest benefit from being a part of MS Workouts in this community. Just want to take a second to give a shout out to Kathy, Eric, Christina, some of the new members that are a part of the Take the Fight to the Muscles club on our YouTube channel. So happy to have you a part of the group. If you're interested in that, just jump over to YouTube. We have guided exercises, live Q&As on a monthly basis. It's a little bit more of an intense exercise programming for you and tools to ensure that you're getting the very best out of your exercise experience. Until next time, understand and realize that cardiovascular health has everything to do with your ability to actively engage the muscle at a high enough level to prompt change in response. Have a good one. I'll see you next week. If you want to get into a more structured and regimented program that can help you gain more control of your symptoms, then you should join our Take the Fight to the Muscles workout club. Now, by joining, you will receive access to an exclusive seated full body fundamentals workout class that updates every 2 weeks, stretch classes to help you alleviate tightness and spasticity, access to our 2 most popular Focus On series for foot drop and hip flexors, plus bonus Q&As with myself each month where I can answer your questions about exercise in MS. Click the join button below this video to learn more information about the Take the Fight to the Muscles workout club and to see which plan works best for you. I'll see you all next week.